Hey, what's going on, Periscope? Keith B Dixon, it's official. You are in the Kilo Bravo Delta zone, you guys. Thank you for tuning in. This is the 7705 broadcast. I'm just a photographer now. Don't be alarmed, you guys. Tonight we're going to be talking about the creative zone. I'm going to share my 7-step process with you that I basically created out of a project that I did in 2212 where I traveled to 12 cities across the United States, including Hawaii and Puerto Rico. I spent 2 days in each city, you guys. I did it over the course of about 6 months. I'm going to share that process with you. I'm going to show you how I created consistent images. And if you follow these 7 steps, if you just drink a little bit of the Kool-Aid, you can make better images yourself. Better images than what you're already doing. Welcome to the Bomb Squad community, you guys. This is how we rock. This is where we are. This is how you can find us. My name is Keith B Dixon, you guys. This is the Kilo Bravo Delta Zone. That's what we call it. I got all kind of nicknames. The Hitman. I'm gonna hit you over the head with some knowledge tonight, and we're gonna do this. What's up, April? Yes. I'm gonna be talking about Business Vlog Summit, you guys, in just a second. Before we, you know what? Let's get the names and the locations out of the way really quick, you guys. Let me get names and locations. If you're brand new to the broadcast, I want you guys to put in your first name. That way I can get to know you. We can get to know each other. And thank you for the invites and the shares. I really appreciate it, you guys. I really do. Thank you. Let me see names and locations. I'm also broadcasting onto YouTube right now. I'm doing a dual broadcast on the YouTube right now, you guys. There he is right there, Captain Joe all day. What up, though, from the Big D, Maryland, from Missouri. Captain JJ from Jersey. What's going on? Yes, Shell, what's going on from Florida? I'm glad to see you back. Amber, thank you for sharing. Commander Amber all day. There's our Exposure 101 account. Yes, Lamar all day. Captain Lamar all day. Deb Davis from the D. What up, though? Barry in Jersey. Cheryl from Detroit. Commander Mike. I got to give Commander Mike the double ups. Mike is the number 2 guy in charge of the squad. He has a lot of responsibility, you guys. And he's also a scientist, by the way. So there she is. Iris from Ohio. You guys, you know what? This is probably my favorite part of the scope. You know, I always kind of wanted to do that announcer thing. It kind of helps me to get a little hyped up because I'm excited about the creative zone. Anyhow, you guys, let me talk about Vlog Summit because it's getting close. It's getting close, you guys. April was on here, and she's the founder. She created, I don't know if you guys remember Perry Union. That's how it all started. So it started with Perry Union, and Perry Union was great. It was a great experience. It was, you know, when you see a bunch of your broadcaster friends, and we like to say family, or your broadcaster friends and family, when you see them come together like that, it's almost as if you know them. And you guys know that experience from Exposure 101. It's an amazing experience. I had a lot of fun, but April, always innovating in her mind, because I like to say we innovate in our mind, always innovating in her mind. She says, you know, I got to go harder and farther. And she says to me, Keith, I wanted this to be a conference where people could apply. They could create action. They could apply what they were going to learn. So here's Business Vlog Summit. Let me get on over here so you guys can see this. I'm gonna switch up the screen right here really quick so you guys can see this. And we're about 20 days away. You could still get a fairly good airline ticket at 20 days. The hotels are fairly inexpensive. This is Business Vlog Summit in Las Vegas, the 2nd through the 4th. And here's what I loved about it. When I, you know, because I called April, I said, hey, do you need some speakers? I'm going to tell you, this was a factor for me. I saw the $297 price and what came with it. You guys, to be honest with you, I don't really talk about the $247. I talk about the $297 price because I need all the extras that can go with it. When I saw when I saw the VIP package, it was a slam dunk. You know, you got to have that package. But look at the speakers. One of the things that I loved about this conference is I call them trench speakers. people in the trenches, right? Those are the kind of speakers that I like to see, because, you know, you do have professional speakers. People, that's all they do, is they go around and they speak professionally. And you get the information and you realize, you know, I can't really apply any of this stuff. It's so esoteric or archaic. Well, not really archaic. They usually present, you know, pretty up-to-date information, but it's just out-of-touch information. And when I went in and I did a deep dive on the speakers, these people are really, they're really in the trench doing the work. And that's what I liked about it. They were very precise. April said, let me hand you off to my team and fill out this application. And I got to tell you, that really kind of turned me on as a speaker, because when people want to know about you, and when I went through the speaker vetting process, they knew a lot about me. And I gotta tell you, that really turned me on, because that is attention to detail. I can only imagine what the conference is going to be like and the level of detail that they're going to put into the conference. So I'm going to tell you, for the money, here's the deal. And this was the clincher. You're going to learn all this stuff. People are going to tell you some great things. They're going to give you some great techniques, but you guys are going to apply it right there on the spot. They're going to put you in a position where you have to apply the information. And those type of conferences don't really exist. They're impossible, because most conferences are about big numbers. And with big numbers, it's impossible, you guys. So April has definitely innovated this, and I'm real excited for her. You know, I'm also really excited to be a part of it. So here are the speakers. Check them out. If your number one goal, and I'm going to say number one goal, is to get your YouTube channel, and I'm going to take you over to mine right now. Here's my YouTube channel, you guys. If your number one goal is to get your YouTube channel jumping and hopping, this is where you need to be. Dr. Walter Sims. Thank you, April. This is where you need to be. And I want to show you this. I started working on this back in April, you guys. I've always had a YouTube. I've got like 400 videos on here. They're mostly like the videos that were transferred over from my live stream when Catch went out of business. But here's my live stream, and look, I've got 2 people watching. Thanks, Joe, for tuning in. And let me show you something, because I want to show you how growth really happens, because I create content every day. Do I do it perfectly every day? No, it doesn't work that way. But what I want to show you is I got a total of 59 subscribers, and I want you to get on board with me, because I'm going to change that. I'm going to escalate that number. It's not going to be easy. It's going to take some work. It's going to take some content, but I'm drilling it down. I'm doing my homework right now. This is real social media right here, you guys. This is real social media. So you've seen me grow this Periscope platform. You've seen how I've monetized it and turned over dollars so that we could create exposure, which cost upwards of $50,000. You guys, all done through social media. This is how we're going to rock the boat. So is this making sense for you guys? I want you to put in, let's go, if you're excited right now, I want you to put in 1.1, and we're going to dive into some other information. I got a couple more commercials. 1.1, if you're excited. Look, you know how I told you guys for exposure that you need to just get there any kind of way you can? I'm going to tell you right now, the age of video is really going to happen this time, because we've been hearing about video for a long time, and I've always kind of sidestepped it because I didn't think video was really a cost-effective way to do business. I'm going to tell you, I'm putting my foot down right now. You got to get on it right now before the bus leaves, because once big broadcasting companies grab a hold of these platforms and figure out a way to shift their business over into what we're doing right now, it is going to be a complete wrap, you guys. It really is. So you got to get a foothold in right now, and this is the best way to get your business out there and the best way to attract clients and build relationships. All right. Is that making sense for you guys? I want to pause for some questions on that, just in case you have some about the summit and what the summit, the business vlog summit means. Does anybody have any questions that they want to pop in real quick? Because we're going to dive into the creative zone. I got one more commercial. We're going to dive into the creative zone. Does anybody have a question? Eliminate the excuses, you guys. If you see me looking down over to the side, I'm just looking at your comments. So if you see me looking straight ahead, I'm definitely looking at the camera. Holla! What's going on? Tell me your first name if you're super brand new. If I don't recognize the picture, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Any questions? Okay, we're going to move on, you guys. We're going to dive into the topic tonight. Not before I show you something super important, super impactful, you guys. This week coming up, the 90 PT is extraordinary. This program, holy smokes. Gregory, what's going on? The 90 PT, we cover sales, marketing, business, social media, lighting. And let me tell you what, you guys know what we do here. You hear me talk about the 90 PT. This is 90 minutes of photography training all day. We do it once a month, every third Saturday, 9 a.m. on a webinar. That way, if you have questions, I can get to them. And it's $290. What I'm doing is I'm trying to make this more affordable. So I'm trying to find, I got a platform. I just have to see how well it works. It's going to allow you to make partial payments, because I know $290 a lot for some people. So I want to make it affordable. At $290, it's affordable, but we're going to make it even more affordable because I want to take away all the excuses. If you're in question about this, just ask somebody in the program. That's probably half the people in this scope. It's a dope program. And you guys know when I do something, I pour my heart into it. There it is right there. All right. Tonight, do you want to make more creative images? I'm going to tell you, we are all born with creativity in our blood. It is there. You have to tap into it. You got to hit the vein like this and get the vein popping up, you guys. If not, it's never going to happen. You cannot just pick up your camera and take a great picture. It does not work that way. By no stretch of the means. I don't care how much money you have, how great equipment you have. Your creativity is very personal, and it's something that has to be discovered within yourself. Yes, we are all born with it. You just have to discover it. So I'm going to talk about 7 steps tonight, you guys. And if this is familiar to you, right, strengthen it. You know, I can't tell you the times that I've basically gone over the shutter speed and aperture. I've studied it about 30, 40 different ways. Heard it from 30 or 40 different people. So look, what is the creative zone, you guys? It is a 7-step process really designed to jumpstart your creativity. When you walk out into a situation, it could be a photo shoot in the studio. It could be you could be on the street somewhere. You could be doing street photography, landscapes. There's generally a lot of noise going on, a lot of distractions, things that are going to pull you away. God forbid that you're on a major photo shoot and you start to get nervous and you panic, you're going to be in trouble, right? And if you do get nervous, it's okay, because if you're properly trained, you can always fall back on your training. And this is part of your training. So it's a 7-step process that you can fall back on when you land somewhere in a foreign country, a foreign neighborhood, just a foreign situation, and you need to get going really quick on creating an image. This is the tool that you can use, you guys. This is the creative zone. Now, here's where we're going. I'm gonna change this slide over here. Here's where we're going. Typically, one of the things that I hear that are most common with a lot of photographers is they are frustrated. They are completely frustrated when they go out and shoot. And the number one thing that I hear is, get lost, and it's hard to recover. And you get frustrated. You look at the back of your camera and it's like, oh, I got 1 or 2 good images. If you're with some clients, you're doing a fashion shoot or whatever, a portrait shoot, hey, you guys, photographers lie to the client. Oh, yeah, it's really good. And yeah, the photos are great. And then the client says, well, let me see. I'm just like, oh, you know what? Let's finish the shoot. You know what? I'm going to show you the images that I got. Matter of fact, you won't even have to ask. I'm going to walk over and show them to you so I can get you excited and say, hey, look, you are killing it right now. These photos are dope, right? I'm going to keep pushing you right now. So you don't even have to ask me for the photos. Matter of fact, my shoots are generally so professional. I've got a monitor set up and they're going to the monitor anyway so they can see them. I mean, those are the kind of jobs I shoot. So I don't want to be frustrated. And process helps you to deal with frustrations because it takes the guesswork out of what you're going to do next, and it puts in very precise steps and measurements that you can apply to the situation so that you can get out of whatever danger you are in. And that's what the creative zone does. So let's say you're out doing some street photography and you're trying to figure out what you're going to do. Here are the steps, you guys. These are the steps that are going to get you there. Now, Here's what I want you to know, and this is important, you guys. The camera is just a recording device. The camera, the lens, the images you make, the image is a byproduct. It's literally just a byproduct of something you made. Look, I'm going to beat this down a little bit, right? I'm going to drop some value out, and I'm going to tell you that this stuff doesn't matter. It's just a tool. Matter of fact, if we were all construction workers and we had a toolbox, we would throw the hammer in there. We wouldn't think twice about it until it was time to pull it out and use it. Your camera gear is the same way. I'm sorry to tell you the marketing hype, what you use, the model number, who cares, right? I'm going to tell you the most expensive camera that you're ever going to own in your life is right here between your two ears and in front of your eyes. That's the best camera that you have. When you're developing the photo here before it even gets to the recording device, if you can't see the photo before you take it, it's never going to happen for you consistently. If you're with me right now and you are completely fired up, is photography different than videography? Then yes, absolutely. Absolutely. If you're with me right now, I want you to throw in a Wi-Fi. And if you got questions, pop them in there. Now, if you see me looking over to the sides like this, I can see your questions. If I'm looking straight ahead, I'm looking at the camera. I can't see your questions. This information is making sense for you, right? Is anybody confused about anything that I said? If you are, I'm going to hold this scope up. And we're going to address it. We're going to get it answered. And if I can't answer the question, I know Mike the scientist can. Because he's probably got his iPad out. We do verifications around here on information sometimes, right? We got to verify things. So I got some backup on here, just in case. All right. Onward. Onward. Now here's the very first step, you guys. I call this the absorption phase. In the absorption phase, what happens is you walk into chaos, you guys. You walk into chaos. And then you know what happens next? Everything goes berserk. Because you go right along with the chaos. And you're just snap, 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 all over the place. You look at the back of your camera and it's like, whoo. I just wasted all those actuations, and not only did I waste actuation, I just decreased the value of my camera, because every time you click that button, right, the value of the camera goes down. It's just like a car. In the absorption phase, you are looking for very specific things photographically: lines, shapes, textures, lights, darks, color. You're looking for anything that you can use that will create a starting point for you creatively. Light, is it bright light? Is it deep shadow? Is it the contrast? Is it the middle tone, right? Maybe I'm going to work the middle tones today. Maybe I'm going to work the shadows today. Maybe I'm going to work the highlights. I'm going to shoot highlight images. I don't know. That's going to be your choice. The thing that I'm going to tell you is commit to one. If you're going to shoot the shadows, right? If you're going to shoot the midtones, if you're going to shoot lines, commit to it all the way through. Say, I'm going to spend 2 hours just shooting lines. This is the 2212 project, and I'm going to show you just how it works in just a second. Watch this. Now, you guys, you're probably looking at this picture and you'd be like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. Some of you out there might be like, yeah, that's all right. I'm not like falling out the chair behind the photo. Well, let me set you up properly, and then you might fall out the chair. This was a prediction. This was a total prediction. I was actually teaching the class, and I'm going to tell you, one of the most difficult things you can do is create a really good photo that represents what you do in your class while you're teaching it, because typically you're just moving around towards students. We got an echo. Major echo. All right, hang on. How about now? The audio's bugging. How about now, y'all? Do we still have echo? Yes. Still there. Okay. Give me a quick second here. Give me a quick second. I'm going to handle this right fast. Okay, you guys, I might have to forge on because it's not obvious right now where the echo is coming from. Yeah, you know that happens. I don't. If you guys, are you still, is it annoying echo? Is it one of those annoying echoes like, oh, this is a good presentation, but the echo is killing me? Is it one of those? Throw up a Wi-Fi. We can live with it? Okay. All right. Huge. Echoing still. Okay, you guys, I gotta roll through this. I'm not sure where it is coming from. And that might actually be on the camera. I don't know, you guys. Anyhow, it sounds like a vibration. It's probably, it might be the camera. Okay, so look, here's the deal. Let me give you the 1-2 punch on this image that we're looking at right here. I totally premeditated this. I saw this wheel and I laid down on the ground. When I flipped the slide, it did. Okay. I was laying down on the ground, and I said, you know what? That wheel is going to be a frame within a frame, photographic technique, frame within a frame. But that white sky is actually a hazard, right? Because white is generally, your eye always goes to white. So what I did is I said, you know what? If a person runs by here, because I noticed the runners, because I sat there in the absorption phase, and I noticed that there were a lot of runners coming, and they had just about all the same colors on. Red shirts, green shirts, some had bright orange shirts. So I saw this consistent pattern with the shirts. I said, well, you know, if I can get a red shirt and I can get that person in between that tree and the building, and I can use the lines that are running through the images to lead towards the runner, I've got an image. And that's exactly what I did. Sean Lee is in the broadcast. What's going on, my man? Sean Lee, partner in crime, co-founder of X101, you guys, all day. Sean, what up, doe? So that's what this image represents. You notice how the lines lead out but back? You guys see that? You notice how the lines lead out and back to the subject? We're going to plow through the echo, you guys. You notice that? You notice how when you look at the building, the big line leads right to the guy's shirt? You see that? So I'm literally laying on the ground waiting for the shot to happen, and it happens, you guys. This is what we do. Here's another one. This is the absorption phase. It had just rained. I was down at the cable car turnaround, and I saw this great light, and I said, you know what, let me photograph this. And this image is actually hanging in my house as part of a triptych. It's part of a triptych, and the lines zigzag into a Z. So I have another photo that has another line going in the opposite direction, and another photo below that. So it's a vertical triptych hanging in my house. And photographs can be just this delicate, detailed, and you know, it doesn't have to be the Grand Canyon. It doesn't have to be some national monument. It can be the littlest thing with some powerful abstract type of feeling that drives you guys. It really can. So you don't have to go out and create bigness all the time. You don't have to do that. You can just look down on the ground and shoot macro or micro shots up in the sky. Maybe you see a unique cloud formation. Look, on my 22, this is I call this proof. Like, Keith, prove it. Prove that you did it. Thank you for the heart, Sean Lee. Prove that you did it. Look, and on the 2212, you guys, I had a budget, typically around $400. In a lot of cases, it included airfare. It was grueling. It was grueling. I rode the bus. I'm in Honolulu. I'm in Waikiki Beach here. I rode the bus from the airport downtown and I was carrying everything with me. So I had these two bags. I had a think tank shapeshifter on my back, and this other bag. I'm trying to blend in. But the reason why I took the bus is because if I wanted to jump off and make some photographs, I could do it. I could move, you guys. And I thought this photo was really interesting. One of the reasons why I took it is I hadn't rode the bus in a long time, you guys. And check this out. The thing that puzzled me is no one was talking to any. It was completely quiet the whole way through. People, how could you be in such close proximity of another person and not speak to him? Literally sit down next to him and not even say hello. And that's why I made this picture. There's nothing special outside of that. It just represented a thought that I had. This is the absorption phase. This is thinking about the photos. Is this making sense for you guys? Is this making sense? I want you to put in 3.3 if this is making complete sense to you. 3.3, let's go. Because in step 2, we're going to talk about the religious point of view. We call it the RPOV. The echo's gone. Okay, good. It's kind of hard to understand what you're saying. Nice picture. Which part is, what's hard for you to understand? Be specific when you say hard to understand. Give me something very specific that maybe could be confusing. And let's drill it down. Oh, it was hard with the echo? Oh, man. Thank you. Thank you. So if you guys have questions about the broadcast and the format of it, I'm using Wirecast. It is kind of like a lot of churches use Wirecast, and it's made by Telstream. And I've got a HD camera, a Logitech camera when you're seeing this view right here. Because I saw a question pop up. I just couldn't get to it in the middle of the dialogue. So this is a Logitech 920 right here that you guys are looking at. And then when you see this shot right here of the religious point of view with the slide, so the slide is inside Wirecast, the bottom third, and this particular photo that you see right here is a HD cam. All right. Okay, you guys, we're going to plow onward. The religious point of view simply, if you look at the man standing there, if you look at the religious statue, you'll notice it's in the form of a cross. Well, if you look at the crosshairs of anything that's in your perspective, you've got at least 5 shots. You've got 1 shot to the middle, 1 shot to the top, the bottom, the left, the right. That's 5 perspectives. So if you literally move to the left and shoot the subject, come back to center, shoot the subject, move to the right, shoot the subject, right? And then you get up high, get down low. That's 5 different perspectives of the same person. You got 5 different looks. They're going to look completely different. You can incorporate this into your workflow all day long, right? Now, if you shoot everything in between those points, you could have possibly 25 shots of one person in the same position from different angles. This is the creative zone. This is about production. This is about working a scene as best as possible. And typically, I like to work a scene for at least 20 photos, and I'm out. 20 photos per scene. 10 photos per photo shoot. Like a man or an individual, I don't understand the relevancy. The relevancy as it relates to... So let me drill this back for you. Most photographers will go out and just shoot with little or no thought behind what they're really after. They just know, I'm out here shooting. If I see something interesting, I'm going to push the button. And what that mostly results in is a lot of frustration. But when you go out and you shoot with a 7-step plan or a plan, you're shooting kind of guided by photographic principle, which is going to bring you closer to consistency, a result, a process that people can identify with versus, just going out doing it. And the thing that I would say, if you were confused about this, grab your camera and just go out and shoot, and then do what you do, come back, look at the results, and see where your photos are consistent. I guarantee you they're going to be all over the place. And then go out with the creative zone and say, I'm going to shoot for lines. I'm going to shoot for circles. You're going to come back with a theme. You're going to come back with a consistency, and that's where it's going to be relevant to you as the photographer. Now, I hope that helps out. I hope that helps you out there. If it doesn't, I can drill it down for you some more. So just let me know. Now, when you're standing in position, you guys, let's say you're working a corner. Well, that didn't sound right. Let's say you're working a door. That didn't even sound right. Let's say you're working a scene, right? Let's say you're working a scene, and we have a tendency to just look forward and out our peripheral, you guys. I know you guys like that. I kind of threw that in there, right? Okay, perfect. Right on. See, that's how you got to do it sometimes. We're working on peripheral. You know, I've gotten some of the best shots doing my street photography by just completely turning around. The action was happening behind me. You know, imagine going to El Capitan. You'll see a million photographers lined up shooting Half Dome and all this kind of stuff. Me, I'm going to go to Half Dome and I'm going to step back and photograph the photographers photographing Half Dome. I'm going to work some shadows. I'm going to work some high expose, some highlights. I'm going to work some mid-tones. I'm going to catch somebody in deep thought. That's what I'm going to work. Because, you know what, I don't know that I could shoot El Capitan as good as it's been shot. It's been shot so many times. People are immune to it. So that's kind of how I think about it. Do you have to think about it like that? No. Do you have to use the creative zone, all the steps? No. It's a crutch. It's a marker, an anchor to get you thinking about shooting with intent. Most of the same shots from, yes, you got to kind of change things up. You got to innovate. Me and Sean Lee, we always like to say you got to innovate inside your head, right? That's where you really got to innovate. You got to innovate your thoughts so you don't become stagnant in what you do. All right. Now, this is my favorite. And you guys, this is one of my favorite steps. Number 4, I call it visual construction. Whew. Let me tell you. This was a deep one, because what typically happens is you get ethered up, you get amped up, your adrenaline is running, you're going through, you know, you got to get your shots. And I actually thought about this. This process came to me before I even had thought about the creative zone. I used to shoot editorial, and it was always, I'd get there and it's like, hey Keith, you only got 10 minutes. You know, I was like, I thought I had an hour and a half. Well, we only have 10 minutes because they got to go to a meeting, things change. And I would have to put these shoots together sometimes for a whole layout of a 4-page layout. That's difficult, you guys, to do. And then I'd get home and get the photos, and I'd see a tree coming out the head, something in the background. Because you know what happened? Instead of me just stopping for a second and taking a breath and working through my foreground, middle ground, background to make sure it was clean and proper, we just hit the button. We just hit the button and make the photo. So now what I do is I really slow down my photo shoots, and I tell them, like, look, I really need this time. At the minimum, what kind of time can you guarantee me? Because most of the time the client's gonna lie to you about the timing, right? And you know what? When I get into the heat of battle, I start thinking about my visual construction, my foreground, middle ground, background, and how I'm going to approach that. And without drilling it down too far, when you are visually constructing your image, you are thinking about what you're seeing inside your head before you record it on that camera. Before you record it on that camera, you're thinking about it inside your head. You're framing that, and then you go to the camera and say, okay, this is how I see it. Boom, let's go. And that's the importance of visual construction. Work through your foreground, your middle ground, and background. Remember, camera's only 2-dimensional, right? So you're only going to really see 2 dimensions on the screen. But we need to photograph for 3 dimensions, if you're lucky. All right. Are you guys with me right now? Because I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show you visual construction right here coming up. This is like me when I'm trying to tell a story in a movie. Yep, and it can. Yes, you know. Tell me your first name again, because that's a really good point. You've got to tell the best story possible, right? You got to tell the best. You got all this information, and you got to figure out what's going to work the best. That is, and I don't. You know what? When it comes to video, people, I'm definitely not jealous of that. That is one of the most difficult things I think you're going to do as a creative. As a photographer, we get to look at stills and put together the story. But motion, that's a whole nother thing. Gregory, filmmaker and musician. Fantastic. All right. Now, this next thing I'm going to show you is not only premeditated, religious point of view. It just, you know what? This was the camera God's blessing me. I'm actually in an alleyway in San Francisco. Oh, wait a minute. Did I say I'm in an alleyway? Literally, I'm in an alleyway. I'm on a 70 to 200, you guys. The echo's back. I'm on a 70 to 200. Hang on a second. I'm on a 70 to 200, and I just sat there for about an hour, and I thought to myself, it's gone. Okay, cool. I thought to myself, I want to see that sign. I want to make that sign work. I want to catch somebody in stride. Little did I know that I was going to catch someone in stride, and not only were they going to be wearing the same pants, the same tennis shoes, and carrying bags, right? It would come together in a succinct type of form, right in stride, you guys. And it took me an hour to get this. I probably shot about 50 or 60 photographs to get this one image. Yes, I was working on my timing, literally. And I was also teaching a class, and when I showed this to the students, they were blown away, because this was the time. And let me tell you something about the Creative Zone, you guys. I've quasi tested this on groups. So I would give one group the actual steps, and I would tell the other group, hey, just go out and shoot, and then come back and let's see what you got. And then we'd get back and look at the images, and the one group would be like, man, how did you guys do that? And it's like, oh, well, we had these steps. So we had this quasi experiment working on, and I did it for years. So this is, you might have to go back and watch the replay. I got to plow through this. But you guys, if you get lost, because I want to get through the content, I don't want to hold up the scope, definitely go back and watch the replay. And if you have questions, you can always contact me. But this is actually one of my favorite images that I have actually hanging in the house. And it was a testament to everything that I was talking about as it relates to visual construction, the religious point of view, anticipation, absorption, everything that I'm talking about, you guys. Now, remember I was talking about hazard recognition? This is step number 5, you guys. Step number 5, hazard recognition. Hazard recognition is step number 5. And as I was making this photo, this next photo coming up, you guys, I'm going to show you this photo right here. I was in Seattle, and I was teaching a workshop called The Revival. And one of the things that I wanted to do was photograph the highway with no cars. Now, if you know Seattle, there's always a ton of traffic. There's always a ton of traffic. You can never catch a freeway without a car in Seattle. The echo should be gone. I got it. I think I got it. Now, I've got a 10-stop ND filter on here, and I'm slowing down the shutter speed. You guys know the routine on this. I'm not going to go into the technique as much, but this is a location that I actually scouted out, and the hazard was the car. And let me tell you how I found this location. I went on Google Imaging, and I just looked at all the photographs that photographers were making, and I said, you know what, I'm going to shoot those same locations, but I'm going to do it better and different. And that's what I did. And that could be your project, you guys. That literally could be your project, is to look at images, look at what other photographers are doing, and apply a photographic technique to it. So that's where the Seattle Seahawks play. And this is called Beacon Hill. And the funny thing about this is there's no fencing there. I mean, you can literally lean over, and it's very low. So photographer's dream, dangerous, literally. And it's moving. So every time a truck drives over, it's moving. So that was another hazard that I want to tell you guys about. So I would have to look, because I was shooting long exposures, I would have to look for anything coming down the street that looked like it was heavy and that would create any vibration. And then the timing of the cars. So those are what I call hazards. So you have to be able to recognize those. Yep. Birds, especially shooting slow shutter speeds, birds are a hazard. Now, once you start to identify all of these things in your photos, you guys, let me check your YouTube side, make sure. I'm always neglecting YouTube, you guys. Let me dive over here really quick. Okay, we're good on the YouTube side. Joe is hanging in there. Okay, so here's the deal. You have to get outward focused, ultimately. If you do all the steps that I mentioned before, you are going to be what we call outward focus. You're going to get away from your camera because you're going to automatically identify all of these things, and you're going to start looking past the camera and really just identifying what's turning you on about photographing the scene. Is it the buildings? Matter of fact, one of the things that I do is I teach, I have teenage students, and I teach them to operate their camera without looking at the buttons. So if you have a Nikon or a Canon, it doesn't matter, right? Rotate over 2 stops, rotate back 2 stops. All you got to do is remember where you started, and you'll never take your eye off the scene. You'll make more shots than you miss most of the time if you just practice that one technique. You will make a lot of shots. And when I'm working an event, you guys, I rarely take my eyes off the forward. I call it the forward. I rarely take my eyes off the forward because that's when you miss shots. So I usually have my camera up kind of high. So let's say this is my DSLR right here. I usually have my camera up really high like this. I literally walk around when I'm shooting my corporate events. And if you're wondering, like, Keith, how do you make money doing corporate events? How do you make the money that you do? Well, I take great pictures. And to take great pictures, you have to have great process. So I walk with my camera up high to my chest. That way, I only have to go from here to here. So if you see a lot of photographers, their cameras are slung way down, right? Even if you're wearing a spider holster, full disclosure, spider holster ambassador, you've got it around your waist. You've got to come out of the holster, or you got to sling that camera up, and by the time you get to the photo, it's gone. So I always walk with my camera like this, up on my chest. That way, if I got to come up, I'm just coming up really quick. So that's a technique for you guys, especially if you're doing any kind of street photography. All right, now here's a classic example, and never bag your camera. If you know you're going to shoot, never bag your camera with a cap. Just turn the hood around and stick it in the bag. I'm going to tell you why. When I made this image, you guys, that you're looking at right here, let me get the echo out. Hold on. When I made this image, I was literally getting off the airplane. I was getting off the airplane when I made this image, and Honolulu has an open air airport, and as I was an open air meaning you literally walk out of this door and you can see a plane, a heavy, just sitting right there, and I saw this little guy with this bright vest on, this huge engine. Thank you. I immediately set my bag down and reached right in and pulled out at that time I was shooting a D300 with a 50 millimeter on it, and made this photo. And I did it really quick. I was shooting an aperture priority, and I did it really quick because I didn't know how security would respond to me. So I didn't want to take a chance. And you know what they say, make the photo and ask for forgiveness later. Literally. So this was part of my 2212 project right here. And I got to tell you, I never looked at the photo. I just did it and kept moving. Camera ready to shoot. Cap off, right? And always cap off. With the 50, there's no hood. So what I do is I lay the 50. When I have a camera with a 50, I lay it down sideways as opposed to like this. So I just lay it down sideways. That way I can grab it really quick. Yeah, I think, you know, that was actually a 777. So it was a 777 sitting there, and I had just never gotten that close before, which was amazing. All right, you guys, here's the complete last step. And in my courses and in the 90 PT, I actually drill this down. It's very specific. It's a very specific process. I'm just doing an overview tonight so you guys can get a feel for it. The very last step, let me make sure I don't have any echo in here. Hold on. The very last step, you guys, is what we call an application. So once you kind of figured out all this stuff and it becomes second nature for you, like you're not just running up on the scene, pushing a button, you're actually just kind of going through your processes. And once you learn this, it happens very quickly. What you end up doing is you start looking at a scene and you're like, you know what, this is I see a lot of patterns developing here. So I'm gonna do some panning. I'm going to use slow shutter speed. I'm going to accentuate motion. I'm going to freeze motion. You start thinking about photographic technique, and this is where your creative application really comes into play. I'm going to stack some filters on and do something like that. This is where you have to be going out. The echo is back. Okay. We're almost done. We're almost done. So, is this making sense for you guys? Is this perfectly making sense for you? Has this been a productive scope? If it has been, I want you to put in 8.8. Let's go. 8.8. Let's do it. 8.8. Let's go. Yes. If you guys have just tuned in, my name is Keith B Dixon, commercial photographer all day, every day. I have a love for street photography. Tonight we talked about the creative zone. It was an overview. It's not drilled down. Not drilled down. 6 months and then 3 months. Perfect. Perfect. All right, you guys. Still echo. Okay, I'm going to have to fix that. I'm going to have to jump on that. All right, you guys. That's all I got for you tonight. I got to get up out of here. My name is Keith B Dixon again. Welcome to the Kilo Bravo Delta Zone. If this is your first time, I appreciate you guys. You can find us on Facebook. We have a community on Facebook. It's called the Bomb Squad. We have a wait list right now of approximately 20 people. What I'm doing is I'm going through profiles and really just vetting people out because we want people to be in the community that are, one, going to be productive, two, are going to be compassionate and care about others and helpful as well. So that's our community, the Bomb Squad community. Use the hashtag in a group search with Bomb Squad, and that's how you can find us. There it is right there. Thank you for joining. Sean Lee, are you still on here? Where's Sean at? Sean, are you still on here? Throw up some emojis so they can see who you are. Sean Lee, 2016. You're welcome. There he is right there. Sean Lee, co-founder of Exposure 101, extraordinary guy. He's also diversity lead for PPA. Great guy, you guys. Business partner. Thank you, Sean. Thank you for tuning in. I know it's late back here in Detroit, you guys, so I'm not going to hold you long. And there it is. I will see you guys. I'm going to be going over to Facebook. I got to rebroadcast this because you can't load or transfer a video over longer than 45 minutes, you guys. We're already at 48 minutes here, so I got to go on and rebroadcast this. Plus, the rebroadcast does better anyway. So I'm definitely going over to Facebook. I got to figure out this echo. I think it's on the actual camera. So thank you guys for tuning in. Peace.